Zero Mark here with the next installment in my beginner deck building series for Legendary Game of Heroes. In the previous installment, we said that if you're building an attack deck, the best attack deck you can possibly build, all the cards are going to be the same affinity, they're all going to be the same color, and they're all going to be the same type, like Corrupt or God heroes. Also, they all need to have the same event boost. So if you look here, you can see the red cards have the S in the middle for Slayer events, and the blue cards have the C for Commander events. And the yellow card has the W there, which is a Warden, which is going to be used for defense in Guild versus Guild, but not usually used for attack decks. So you have to have the same color, the same type, and the same event boost. The upshot of that is that it's impossible to build through random card collecting an effective attack deck. So how do we get an attack deck then that has all of the same affinity, same type, same event, and all of them together? And the answer is relatively easily. We build an event deck for every attacking situation in the game. So PvP, Guild versus Guild, anytime you're attacking in events, in dungeons, anytime you're on the attack, except for Bounty, a full event deck is your best option. So putting together an event deck is kind of going to be the core piece of all of the attacking that you do. And having several different ones for several different situations will ultimately be where you want to go. I said except for Bounty. Bounty is a little bit different because it has special different kind of boosts. So this is the team that I use for Bounty, and you can see that there's 3 cards in it that have bounty bonuses instead of event bonuses. You'll notice that there's 2 commander cards in there too. Those are event cards that are part of my event deck that I still use as the base for my bounty deck. And those 2 cards do most of the damage. So where do we get and how do we build an event deck? For each commander event and slayer event, there's a new deck that's put out by Network. The new decks come in those 3 packs that are in the middle: Event Support, Event Main, and Event Relic. And there's 4 unique cards that make up the deck and 1 relic. So 4 cards and 1 relic. The 4 different cards are a support card, which is a basic card that's easy to get. It can be awakened up to level 10, but the flip side of that is that in order to have it be powerful at all, you need to have it probably awakened 5 or 6 times. But the good news is with the support card, you can get tons and tons of copies of it. Even if you don't buy any packs and spend any gems just doing the event, you can get 4 copies of the support card. Support card's easy to get. It's easy to evolve. You can get them all to 6 stars pretty much free. If you don't have enough materials to get it to 6 star, you need to find a guild that's a little bit better that will trade you boxes to be able to 6 star all of these heroes, because it's relatively easy to do. So you can get lots of support heroes. They're easy to get. They're cheap to get. They're easy to evolve to 6 stars. So there's the support hero. The second card in the deck is called the Event Main Hero, the main event hero. And the main event hero is a little bit harder to get, and you need a catalyst to evolve it. In the event store, in the event, you can get enough shards for 1 of the catalysts. So if you get a 4-star version of it and you want to get it to 6 star, you'll get 1 of the catalysts that you need from the event store. The other one you're going to either need to spend dust on, or you're going to need to use dungeon coins to buy the second one. And if you're going to get 2 event cards that you need to upgrade, you're going to need to be spending either a lot of dungeon coins or a lot of dust to get the catalysts that you need to evolve it. So it's a little bit harder to get, and it's a little bit and it's much harder to evolve, especially multiple copies. The third card in the deck, and if we go to the collection and scroll down here to the top, the one where you get the Quetzalcoatl coins, you have the support card there on the left, the main event card in the middle, and the ultra rare on the right. The ultra rare is much harder to get. It's the hardest one to get. It uses the same materials as the support card to evolve, you just need a lot more of them. So if you are having trouble evolving your support card to 6 stars, you're going to have a lot of trouble with ultra rares. If you're in a decent guild that's pretty active, you will have no trouble evolving either one of those to 6 stars because there's enough gift boxes, material gift boxes floating around that there's tons of them out there and you easily get it to 6 star. So if you get it, that's the hard part. Once you get it, then it's easy to get it to 6 star. The 4th card in the deck is the X13 card because there's a 13 times bonus. The other ones during the event only have a 10 times bonus. The ultra rare has a 13 times bonus. This card is always just an upgraded version of either the main event card or the ultra rare. Lately, in the last 4 or 5 events, it's been an upgraded version of the main event card. So it's, even though it's a separate independent card, it's an identical to the main event card, just its stats are higher, its bonus is higher, and its skill is higher. So like in this most recent event, the main event card increased the fire gem fall by 40 gems. The ultra rare increased the gem fall by 50 gems. So the skill is a little bit better, the stats are a little bit better, the bonus is a little bit better. So in every case that you can get the X13, you're going to want to use it to replace the main event card that it's better than or the ultra rare that it's better than. So with those 4 cards, the ultra rare and the support card, the main event card, and the ultra rare card, what's the best makeup to make this strong deck? Which pieces do you need to put in it? Do you need to have all 4 of these cards in it? Well, it really depends on the specific skills of the cards and how they interact together. But historically, you're going to almost always want the ultra rare because that's going to be one of the key pieces to building the deck, and it's also not coincidentally probably the most expensive card to get. So I have 2 full event decks that I use. One of them uses 2 support cards, 2 main event cards, and 1 ultra rare. One of them uses 3 ultra rares and 2 main event cards. So sometimes the support card isn't very valuable. Sometimes the support card is incredibly useful. It's just a matter of looking at the skills and figuring out which ones work together to figure out what you want to do to build your deck. But you're almost always going to want an ultra rare. Also, every opportunity you get to get an X13, upgrade the relevant card. So if the X13 is an upgrade of the main event card, then my deck, instead of being 3 ultra rares and 2 mains, would be 3 ultra rares and 2 X13s if I could get 2 X13s. So anytime you can upgrade it, upgrade those. But they're skill-wise, they're effectively that fit the same purpose inside of a deck, so they're interchangeable. So the makeup of the deck is going to depend on which skills kind of work together. And so you'll have to look at the individual deck and have a little bit of experience playing. And if you're not sure, ask. Post on the message boards. Ask in your guild. People will be more than happy to tell you what they think would be the best setup for a deck. So the last part of the deck is you've got these 4 cards, but then you also have the relics. And relics come a day into the event, and so often they end up being overlooked. But they're incredibly, incredibly, incredibly important. A deck that has the perfect makeup of cards that has 0 event relics is effectively useless. A deck that has 1 event relic is very, very weak and not very useful. On the other hand, a perfectly made up deck that has 3 to 4 relics is amazing and unstoppable. So having relics is incredibly important. Let me say that again. Having 0 relics makes the deck useless. Having 4 relics makes the deck amazing. Same underlying cards, but without relics, the deck is completely useless. So make sure that you save gems if you're building an event deck to make sure that you can get at least 3 relics to really make the deck work. And let me show you why. So let's go look at a couple of event relics. So if I go down here to my Matriarch Spear, which is an event relic, the first thing it gives us is attack up flat. So that gives a bonus to attack. That's like anything else. So an attack up bonus is going to be beneficial, but nothing special there. Draconic Honor creates 4 water gems at the beginning of battle. This is one of the huge benefits of having the event relics, because when the board starts out, you're going to just randomly have a board full of all the different colors of gems, and you're going to have 6 to 7 gems of the type that you like. So a random board that starts is going to have 6 to 7 water gems if I'm looking to match water gems. Well, most of the skills are going to take up to 9 gems to be able to activate. So if I don't have anything that affects the water gems on the board, I'm going to have 6 or 7. I might get lucky and be able to match 4 or 5 of them. But in order to get 9 matches, I'm going to have to go through 3 or 4 turns, getting attacked by the boss, getting all of these things to happen. Well, if I have this event relic in place, it creates 4 water gems. So instead of having my 5 to 7 at the beginning of battle, I'm now having 9 to 11. 9 to 11 makes it much more likely that I'm going to be able to match, but even if I need to get 9, I'm still going to probably take a couple of turns to do that. But if I have 2 event relics or 3 event relics, now I'm adding 12 water gems to the initial 5 to 7. Now I've got kind of 17 to 20 water gems on the board, and it's going to be very easy for me to get my 9 gems matched in the first turn, so the second turn I can be firing off all of my cards' event skills. So not having event relics makes the deck very, very slow starting, because you don't have any way of getting those blue gems early on, and you don't have any way of activating skills early. So that's the first reason why these event relics are really, really important. The second is Honored Intensity generation. Increases Honored Intensity by 5 per turn. This is an Honored Relic. If this was a Corrupt Relic, it would be increasing Corrupt Intensity. If this was a God Relic, it would be increasing God Intensity. But increasing Intensity can be huge for these decks. And so if I have 3 relics, I'm increasing intensity by 15 per turn. By the time 3 or 4 turns have gone by, that's a huge, huge boost to intensity, which can be hugely beneficial. If I don't have any of these relics, I'm not getting any additional intensity generation, and I'm not getting any water gems at the beginning of the turn. The relics also have one last skill. This one says if 12 water gems exist on the board, create 1 water power gem 2. Not all of the relics have that same skill. A bunch of them have other things, but there's an additional thing. So in addition to creating water gems and in creating at the beginning of battle when I really need them, and increasing Honored Intensity every turn to give me huge boosts to that, it has this additional skill to create water gems every turn. And so if I have 4 of these in my deck, then I'm creating 4 water power gem 2s every turn. So as you can see, the relics, hugely, hugely important. And so having as many of them as possible, the more, the better. You can also, during the events, you can upgrade your relics. The upgrades increase the number of water gems by 1 from 4 to 5, the number of Honored Intensity generated per turn from 5 to 6, and it increases the attack a little bit. But those are relatively small benefits, so I wouldn't spend tons and tons of extra effort to try and get your relics upgraded. If you happen to get all of the pieces along the way, like I did for this one, then go ahead and upgrade it, but don't spend extra money or extra gems hunting for the last piece you need to upgrade it, because the upgrade just isn't really worth the extra. So we have 4 cards, 1 relic for the event deck. But if we go back to the store and look, you'll see that we have 3 packs. So where do these cards come from? So first pack, the event main pack. If we look at the event main pack, we can see in this one that you get a Slayer hero on the first level, you get a Slayer hero on the second level, you get a random hero on the 3rd tier, and it takes you up until tier 4 before you get a guaranteed main event card. That Matryoshka hero 3-star plus is one of those 4 heroes over on the left, so there's a chance you get the event card out of that, but there's a chance that you just get one of the other collection cards. And all those collection cards do is if you have them at 5 stars, they gain you 1 rune towards collecting the X13s. But in and of themselves, they don't have much value because they don't match the type of the rest of the deck, and so they're not cards that you're going to want to include in your event deck. So all they do is give you a better chance to get the X13. So it takes you up until tier 4 to actually get a guaranteed event card. And then if we keep looking up, we go tier 5, tier 6, before you get a guaranteed second event card. So if you want 2 event cards, you're going to be buying 6 tiers of this pack, which is going to be in the neighborhood of 11,000 or 12,000 gems in order to get that. And to get to a third one, if you wanted a third one, you're going way, 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 way up here to the 7th step of, the 4th step of tier 7. So you're going to be spending an additional 16 to 20,000 gems to get the 3rd copy of the event hero. There is a chance that through the collection in the event, you'll get one of these cards for free. So it is possible to get an event card for free, but to actually purchase them, you're going to be 11,000 gems in before you're guaranteed that you get 2 of these. So the only card that you're looking for in that main pack is the event hero, and you can get a couple of runes that will help you get the X13. The other card deck is called the support pack, the event support. And that's where you're going to find the support card, and you're going to find the ultra rare in this pack. So the support and the ultra rare cards come in here. But you can see that at the 2nd level, you're getting one of the support cards. At tier 3, you get another support card. At tier 4, you get another support card. At tier 5, you get another support card. So you get support cards every turn along the way, but you'll notice there's no, we're at tier 6, you notice that there's no ultra rares guaranteed anywhere in here until we get to tier 6. If you're a VIP, that in that VIP bonus section, there's the one Brute Ovinic 5-star. That's the ultra rare hero. So if you're a VIP, you can get a guaranteed ultra rare on tier 6. Otherwise, if you keep looking, there's just no guarantee of that ultra rare anywhere. So the only way that you can guarantee getting the ultra rare then is through luck. And you'll see that the luck there says 1 out of 17 because I pulled the 2 free pulls from this pack. And in those 2 free pulls, which was tier 1 and tier 2, you can see in tier 1 there's 1 hero 3-star plus, and then in the second one there's one of the support cards. So that 1 hero 3-star plus increased my luck by 1. Once you get your luck to 17, you're guaranteed that the next hero 3-star plus you pull will be an ultra rare card. But your chance doesn't change until you get to 17. It doesn't get a higher probability as you get closer to 17. It's just the probability is exactly the same until you hit 17, and then you get it guaranteed 100%. So let's count the 3-star heroes. There's 1 in tier 1, 2, 3 more, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4 more in tier 7 is 12. So you'd have to buy a second of that tier 7, which would be 16. So it would be your 3rd pull of tier 7 that would finally guarantee you getting an ultra rare. So you can add up the gems on that, and you'll realize that it's going to cost you in the neighborhood of 30,000 plus gems in order to guarantee yourself an ultra rare, unless you're a VIP, in which case you can get a guaranteed ultra rare at tier 6. So that's the ultra rare and the support cards. The support cards, you get as many of them as you need. The ultra rare is going to be expensive to get, probably, unless you get super lucky, which is possible. You could pull one on the first tier and then get one for free even, or for 300 gems. And then what about relics? Relics are also going to be expensive, and remember, they're hitting you with this after you've spent all these gems to build your deck, and now you absolutely need the relics in order to have a good deck. So notice 1 relic 3-star, you finally get a guaranteed one on tier 2, so you can spend 1,000 gems and get 1 guaranteed. But again, 1 isn't really enough. So to find the next guaranteed one, we have to go through tier 3, tier 4, tier 5, to tier 6. And on tier 6, in this particular pack, because it's a bonus, you actually get 2 of them. So at tier 6, you can get 3 for relatively cheap. If they don't have that bonus in there, to get the next one, you have to go 1, 2, 3, 4 more packs deep at 5,500 gems each. That's another 22,000 gems to get the guaranteed third relic if they don't have that bonus going on. So, given that you need to get probably 2 event cards at least, an ultra rare, and 3 to 4 relics, what's it going to cost you gem-wise to get this deck? Well, I built a sheet that kind of summarizes the overall cost of these things. So first is the support pack. You can see that it's going to cost about 25,000 gems to get a guaranteed ultra rare. And every deck, you're going to need an ultra rare. So you're going to want to count on having to spend a bunch of money, a bunch of gems to get that guaranteed ultra rare. It's possible that you get it much, much quicker. You could get it anywhere along the way in any tier. You could get one in the first tier. I've gotten one from the single 3-star hero in the first tier before, so it's possible, but count on having to spend a bunch of gems. The main pack is where you're going to get the main hero and also a bunch of runes to help you collect the X13 hero. The first guaranteed event hero, 11,000 gems. To get to the second one, you're spending quite a bit more. And also it depends on the pack. In the pack for the current event, that 11,000 is the second guaranteed event hero, and the other one is the third guaranteed event hero. And along the way, remember you're also collecting a bunch of runes to get the X13, and if you get that, that can replace one of the main event heroes. So you might be able to get away with just going to 11,000, getting a couple of event heroes and getting enough runes to make the X13. The place where you're really going to have to pay is the relic pack, because you're gonna, every time I've done it, I've had to go all the way to the 36,400 gems in order to get the 4 relics that I need. Both times I've done it, I've gotten 4 by the time I got to that 36,400. In the current pack, they're giving a guaranteed third relic at 14.4, so you can get 3 there for a little bit cheaper. But if you add that all up to get a guaranteed ultra rare, to get 2 event heroes, and to get a 3 to 4 relics, you're looking probably around 60 to 90,000 gems. If you're at 60,000, you're probably pretty safe to build yourself a pretty good, pretty solid event deck. If you only have 20,000 or 30,000 gems, chances are you're going to come up short on relics. Is probably the main place that you're going to end up short, and that's the difference between a decent deck and a really good one. So my recommendation is, if you get a lucky pull of an ultra rare early, or you pull an event card for free, and so you have a couple of the pieces together, then go ahead and work on building a deck. But don't forget that you're going to need to save at least 14,000 gems, and probably a lot more, to get enough relics to really make this thing a good deck. Well, I hope that's been helpful. The next installment in this series, I'm going to look at defender decks, and so we'll look at wardens, what wardens are for, why you keep them around, and how to put together a decent defense deck. Until next time.